From an accident on a busy highway that looked more like a Hollywood stunt, and a canine unit that accidentally bit his fellow officer, to a shoplifter in Tennessee who decided to steal a police cruiser, and a bold suspect who tried to back his way out of a ticket. Here are some of the most unbelievable moments caught on police dashcam. April 18, 2023. Florida Highway Patrol is in pursuit of 23-year-old Isaiah Cawley. An officer spotted Cawley driving recklessly through Escambia County. He flipped on his lights to pull him over, but Cawley didn't plan on stopping. He'd rather risk throwing his entire life away. More highway patrol officers crossed the median up ahead to join the pursuit. They tried forcing Cawley off the side of the road, but this maniac was able to weave in between them. He whipped around the right side and sped away like Grand Theft Auto. Cawley allegedly had weapons and drugs in the car, which is why he was running. He weaved his white Infiniti in and out of traffic, sometimes hitting speeds over 130 miles per hour. Eventually, Cawley takes the Chase off the highway, which is probably the wrong choice. After narrowly missing a passing truck, Cawley drives up on bumper-to-bumper traffic. He tries going around them, but one local driver has other plans. Cawley takes off on foot as more officers arrive on the scene. They decide to sick the canine unit on him, but their puppy accidentally bites another officer. Chaos was the theme of this chase. One officer even crashed into another cruiser while trying to join the foot race. Cawley thought he'd be home free if he made it across the highway. Unfortunately, he was running right into the path of an oncoming truck. By some miracle, Cawley avoided getting flattened like a pancake. Police had to end this before he hurt himself or someone else, so they tried the dog one more time. This canine needs another year of basic training. He bit his fellow officer and ran past the suspect. Luckily, police were able to tackle Cawley on the road. The dog did manage to bite his arm once Cawley was in handcuffs. Cawley was arrested and charged with resisting arrest, hit and run, and drug possession. He was held on a $67,000 bond, which someone must have paid. 8 months later, in December, Cawley allegedly took a man's life and went on the run. He was arrested in Georgia for first-degree murder and second-degree attempted murder. It goes to show that police can never be too careful. You rarely know what kind of person you're dealing with, especially when they decide to run. Tony Gregory can't seem to keep himself out of trouble. The 23-year-old Milwaukee man was out on bail on February 6th of 2023 when an officer in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin, clocked him going 50 in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. He flipped on his lights and thought Gregory would stop, but this convict had other ideas.
1-8 dispatch. Give me another squad to Santa Monica and Hampton for a speeding car I think they're going to try to take off. Stop! They're taking off in reverse, northbound on Santa Monica. Stop! Stop! We're taking off in reverse, going northbound in the southbound lane. Adam Paul King, 6161, APK 6161. Stop! Stop! Box him in.
Police thought they had Gregory boxed in, but he still slipped away. This high-speed reverse chase was back on.
They were stopping, now they're fleeing again in reverse. Southbound and northbound lanes are going to be boxed in. Can I get Glendale for mutual aid for stop sticks? Stop! Stop! We need to go to get one to Silver Spring.
This time, police have him cornered on all sides. If he wants to escape, he'll have to run one of them over, thus adding assault with a deadly weapon to his growing list of charges. Apparently, that fact didn't bother him, even with weapons pointed in his face.
They're taking off in reverse, going northbound and southbound lane. Adam Paul King, 6161, APK 6161.
Going forward this time, Gregory was able to gun it through the neighborhood and lose the police. After searching all over, Whitefish Bay police called off the chase. But Gregory wouldn't remain a free man for long. About 45 minutes later, police in Milwaukee tried to pull his SUV over. He sped away again, leading them on his second chase in under an hour. That has to be some kind of record. The second chase ended when Gregory crashed into a pole and rolled his vehicle. He pleaded guilty to several charges and was sentenced to 2 years behind bars. Norcross, Georgia is a small city in Gwinnett County. It's home to roughly 17,000 people who live about 20 miles northeast of Atlanta. They're not used to wild police chases racing through their streets. Funny enough, the craziest one they'd ever seen was also the slowest. An unnamed suspect was recently fired from his waste disposal job in September of 2023. He didn't appreciate the firing and kept returning to drive the heavy equipment around. On March 23rd of 2024, he decided to steal one of the front-end loaders and take it for a spin around town.
Individual who's driving a four-wheeler tractor is not stopping for me. I have no way of stopping this vehicle. He's going to go out the main road.
Watch your dick, he's ready.
I can't control him.
Grab your machine. What is it? One of those things? How fast is it?
They can get up to probably about 30.
Okay, grab that.
Our worker didn't think he'd be deputized that day, but those tiny police cruisers would never stop that tractor safely. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. In this case, they fought a 75,000-pound machine with an even bigger machine.
The sanitation truck, the large tractor, which is our best bet, a little bit slower, but he's behind us as well. But
Hey, ready? We're in front of Victory World Church on Brook Hollow.
I left my yellow bed, Brent.
Going in 10-3 for the vehicle, Corley, center and Oprah.
10-3. Circle, also Brook Drive.
This is unbelievable.
It's wrong.
Keep him up! Hey! Flip it! If you can flip it, flip it!
The 38-year-old suspect was arrested for trespassing and reckless driving. Thankfully, nobody got hurt during his tractor rampage. We don't know why he was fired or what he wanted the tractor for. He couldn't have thought he'd actually get away with it. The tractor might be big, but he'd run out of gas eventually. March 6th of 2024. Police in Thurston County, Washington are trying to get a suspected drunk driver under control. They have him pulled over on a narrow dirt road, and his passenger agrees to step out of the car. That's when our driver takes off, hoping to leave the police in the dust.
Give us code 10, I'm gonna spike it. Did you get it? No spike, heading back towards Rich.
Okay, I'm catching up to you guys, I'll call it.
Police get behind the fleeing vehicle, and the suspect leads them on a dangerous chase through town. Things get extra hairy when the driver pulls onto the Chehalis Western walking trail. Thankfully, people out for an afternoon walk could hear the sirens and get out of the way. Next, he leads the police over a narrow bridge. If somebody were walking over, they'd have to jump onto the fence or run back the way they came. He pushes 50 miles per hour as he avoids one person. He clears another overpass and nearly takes out someone walking their dog. Thankfully, he decides to get back on the main road, where police move in for a pit maneuver.
36 is going for pit. Good pit, good pit.
He's on 36, good pit.
TBI.
There's TBI.
He's still going. Reversing eastbound. 5-9, he's in reverse. Hit a camper, code 10. Got him blocked in. Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Hands!
Our driver is officially boxed in. He's got an RV behind him and a police cruiser in front of him. Even then, he still tries to get away.
5-9, he's not going anywhere. He's locked in, but he's trying to start it again. 5-9, he's just
Police eventually tased and subdued the suspect. They learned he had several warrants out for his arrest, including charges for second and third degree assault. He'd been arrested and convicted 8 times before this chase. Those charges included assaulting law enforcement, burglary, and grand theft auto. Are you ready for your blood to boil? He was booked into county jail that night, but released shortly after. Apparently, speeding down a walking trail and having multiple warrants out for your arrest isn't enough to hold you these days. On February 6th of 2022, a police officer in Chattanooga, Tennessee, responded to a shoplifting call at a convenience store off Rossville Boulevard. The clerk was in a verbal altercation with 41-year-old Chris Parker. He was trying to steal a drink when the clerk caught him. Chris threw the drink at the man and left the store. He wound up walking about a half mile toward I-24 East. Another officer saw him walking along the shoulder and pulled over to arrest him. Another fight ensued. Chris overpowered the officer and tried throwing him down an embankment. He then hopped into the officer's SUV and gunned it toward the Georgia border. He made it about 14 miles down I-75 when an officer in Ringgold, Georgia saw him getting off the highway. He spun around and the chase was on.
We're no longer in it. Coming up with GSP. They're going to be like on the left. It's 348. Now, keep going.
Chris weaves between traffic as he drives to lose the police. The upside to stealing a police car is that people get out of your way when they see the sirens. We imagine they were on when Chris stole the cruiser and he didn't know how to turn them off. But sirens don't matter when traffic gets heavy. Usually, police would slow down and weave through safely. Instead, Chris decided to put everyone's life at risk. Police disabled the vehicle after 2 successful pit maneuvers, but that doesn't mean the chase is over. Chris takes off on foot, running into some thick brush. Our officer decides to drive around and cut him off.
Come here, Fred.
Our canine officer is lucky someone was behind him. It looks like he walked right past Chris and then fell. Chris was arrested and charged with a slew of crimes. According to reports, the officer who lost his squad car was placed on administrative leave. He also became the butt of everyone's joke. Blaine, Minnesota is a small suburban city north of Minneapolis. It's home to about 70,000 people and a stretch of highway famous for officer-involved car crashes. Route 65 through Blaine is an arterial roadway. On the road hierarchy, it sits somewhere below freeways and motorways. These are basically highways with traffic lights. People will climb to 50 miles per hour as they move between each intersection. On July 6th of 2022, a Spring Lake Park police cruiser responded to an officer needs help call. This could have meant anything from a fight to a severe injury. So our Spring Lake officer put the pedal to the metal and raced down Route 65. As he approached one of those intersections at over 100 miles per hour, he lost control of the cruiser and slammed into a civilian car. Things went south when our officer tried to drift around the turn like Lightning McQueen. First, he narrowly cut off another black car before losing control and skidding through the intersection. His tires screamed, and the grassy median helped slow him down. Luckily, the other man was okay, even though a cop car had just slammed into his driver's side door. Both men got out to inspect the crash. The cop car was probably fine, but our innocent driver needed a new door and window. This wasn't the first police-involved crash on Route 65 either. Dashcam footage shows a police SUV getting T-boned at one of those highway intersections. Cars constantly flip over in the movies, but is it as easy as Hollywood makes it seem? According to this biker's helmet cam footage, the answer might be yes. While driving down a busy highway, he witnessed an impatient driver in a silver car trying to get around everyone else. Unfortunately, this idiot driver must not have been paying much attention because he was oblivious to the traffic quickly forming in front of him. He slammed on the brakes, but it was far too late. He clipped the rear of the black car and sent himself flying through the air. Incredibly, the car does a full roll and ends up back on all four. This clip is a good example on exactly why you shouldn't tailgate. If the cars in front of you suddenly stop, you've got no time to react. Looking closely again, you can see their front left tire hitting the black car's back right tire, not the car itself. The tires create this springboard effect that launches the silver car onto its hood. The white car is lucky they pulled ahead in time. Okay, so clearly small sedans can flip like this, but what about bigger cars, say like a GMC Denali? Can they flip like a gymnast on four wheels? On May 20th of 2023, 42-year-old Chris Monroe decided to lead police on a 120-mile-per-hour chase through North Little Rock, Arkansas. He had multiple warrants out for his arrest and was involved in several high-speed chases in the months prior. Police needed to get this guy off the road. If that meant flipping his truck, so be it. Running from the police wasn't the only crime on Chris's rap sheet. Another county wanted him for narcotics trafficking and possession. To make matters worse, his minor daughter was in the back seat when he decided to run from the cops. He decided his freedom was more important than her life. June 12th of 2021. Police in Kent County, Michigan are after two women in an RV. The chase began after a Michigan state trooper saw the RV run a red light at the intersection of 91 and 46 near the Lakeview McDonald's. The trooper tried to pull the RV over, but the ladies inside refused to stop. Up ahead, another officer deployed spike strips near Amy School Road in Howard City. The RV swerved to avoid the strips and struck the police cruiser. Now it was personal. Another officer joined the chase as the RV drove down Route 131 towards Cedar Springs.
Pursuit on a Winnebago. Anyone in position?
I'm on the post. Try to get position here. 37, I can't load on follow-up. I can start that way. 52186 belt line. Get out of there.
They're getting off at the 114.
Okay, sounds like they're getting off at the 114 north of Kent County.
I'll roll north, just in case.
Clear.
$6106.
Go ahead.
They hit my patrol car.
6106, I copy. They hit your patrol car.
The RV, now driving on a missing tire, refuses to stop. Our officer tries getting in front to slow it down, but the ladies keep ramming him. They eventually spin around as another officer joins the chase. Now, our ladies are heading back toward the highway, only this time they start driving up the wrong side.
It looks like they just flipped around, probably heading back towards 131. 14, which is Cameron Road.
14, we're going the wrong way on northbound. Permission to pit.
606414 southbound in the northbound lanes now.
Speeds at 43, permission to pit.
Southbound in the northbound, speeds at 43. Requesting permission to pit.
Highway. 6614, whatever you have to get this thing stopped.
We're coming up to the fire, guys. Still southbound, speeds at 45.
Still southbound, speeds at 45, 1359.
53 from 66, just follow her. I'll try and break the traffic up. Still southbound in the northbound lanes. We're on 60. They've hit 2 cars. Also, there's a PDA northbound at the 112.
6414, I got one at West River heading north.
I think I'm going to have to shut this thing down here at 17 mile if I can get some help.
Cutting across. We're going to be southbound in the southbound lanes. 53, move out of the way.
Cut across southbound in the southbound, 1402.
6414 clear.
53 from 66, back off. Slow down traffic for me.
Thankfully, the RV returns to the right side of the road. They were never going to outrun the cops in a Winnebago. Finally, our officer gets permission to pit the RV.
Trying. They're taking the exit 17 mile road here. I think 66 is
Hey, real quick, what's the pit speed? Yeah, real quick. You got 2 seconds.
By Statewide 6 is passed, so Kent County can monitor on the stalker.
I'll call you back.
Kent County says if you need to stop 6, let them know.
Looks like County's at 14 mile. I'm going to northbound past them.
Kent County's got the freeway shut down at 12 miles.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Linda Mankel and Alexandra Anderson thought they were Thelma and Louise. They'd just robbed a bunch of TVs from Walmart and were driving toward Grand Rapids to sell them for drug money. Inside the RV, police also found several empty bottles of alcohol. Given her criminal history, 49-year-old Mankel could spend the rest of her life in jail. Anderson wasn't charged with anything related to the pursuit. It's unclear if she played a role in stealing the TVs. Ann Arbor, Michigan is a college city in Washtenaw County. It's home to about 123,000 people and a police department that thought it had seen it all. Then, on November 25th of 2023, a 12-year-old boy proved them wrong. A strange call came in around 6:45 p.m. A middle schooler had stolen a Genie GTH 636 telehandler, also known as a 35,000-pound forklift. After finding the key in the cab, he swiped it from his school parking lot. When police caught up with him, he was driving between 15 and 20 miles per hour down Georgetown Boulevard. Nothing in his path was safe.
Pull over. Pull over now.
Yeah, we're coming from Ashley.
Miller and Ashley.
Northbound Ashley. Speeds are about 9 miles per hour. Light traffic, no pedestrians.
Police couldn't believe their eyes. They're currently chasing a 12-year-old who apparently knows how to drive heavy construction equipment. He's not half bad either. That is, until he runs up the curb and slams into parked cars.
Clear Ashley and Belch.
Eastbound.
Eastbound and Belch.
I'll be in the area now, right? Okay, we're coming from Maine. You might not have enough folks to make it up Maine. We got a lot of traffic on Main Street.
And you were on Main, where you at?
Okay, now he's turning northbound, Residential Street, Georgetown Boulevard.
Northbound in Georgetown.
Sideswipe the car right in front of Yorktown.
Sideswipe car brake. Was that a positive on the strips?
Negative. Negative on the set. Sideswipe another car. Pickup truck.
Clear, hit 2 vehicles.
These are 18. No traffic, no pedestrians.
Oof.
Car number 3, sideswipe. This one's in front of 2160. Still northbound, coming up to Yorktown Drive. Sideswipe 2 more. And another. Right in front of Yorktown Drive. Still northbound.
Until now, this kid had only sideswiped a few vehicles, but his demolition derby was just getting started.
Southbound Bullet.
Southbound Bullet.
Continuing around the cul-de-sac here. He sideswiped the car into the front yard of unknown. I don't believe it was occupied. I'll check on it.
Next, he decided to take things onto the sidewalk.
He's continuing north.
Clear northbound on Nixon.
Looks like he's gonna possibly ditch it. He's on the sidewalk now.
Go ahead and reactivate your lights and sirens there, guys.
Crossover back on the roadway. Speeds are 15.
Eventually, the 12-year-old left the Ann Arbor area around 7:20 p.m., about 35 minutes after he stole the truck. Ann Arbor police had to back off as the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office took over from there. After an hour-long pursuit, the boy finally stopped around 8 p.m. Police brought him to a juvenile detention center, and he was eventually released into his parents' custody. They charged him as a juvenile for stealing the machine. It's unclear what sort of penalty the kid might be facing. December 17th of 2022. Police in Forsyth County, Georgia are in pursuit of a speeding BMW M4. Behind the wheel is 22-year-old Islam Aslanov, a known street racer as far as highway patrol was concerned. He had been arrested over the summer and was now up to his old tricks. The chase began when a trooper attempted to pull Islam over for failure to dim headlights. In other words, Islam was driving with his high beams on. He knew his German sports car could outperform their police vehicles, and for a moment, it looked like Islam would get away. He didn't know a trooper was on the median up ahead, waiting to spike his car.
Check lane, still light traffic, speed to 143.
Spikes are shallow, spikes are shallow.
Looks like he's in the fast lane right now. He just switched to the slow lane. He's in the slow lane right now, coming up to Shiloh Road.
Communication was vital on that spike strip. The pursuing officer told his partner that Islam was driving in the rightmost lane, which is where our spiking officer left the strips. Islam drove clean over them while the pursuing officers stayed to the left. Meanwhile, another highway patrol officer waits to join the chase up ahead.
$52.21. Is it a white BMW? I got him. He's going left. I'm making our left toward Ronald Reagan. TEV is the first three on tag. Going toward the house. Coming up to Ronald Reagan right now. Looks like we're turning right on Ronald Reagan toward Nancy Reagan. It's a white BMW.
41 behind you, I'll call it.
Radio clear right on Ronald Reagan.
Even with spiked tires, his high-performance BMW is able to outrun the cops. But he can't keep it up for long. Thanks to the detachable metal spikes, his tires are slowly deflating. At this point, the cops just need to keep pace. He'll slow down eventually. When he does, they can go in for a pit maneuver and end this chase for good.
He's slowing down now. It's about 80. Going up to Union Hill. Looks like we're taking a right on Union Hill.
Clear right on Union.
Yeah, looks like his front tire is flat. We're going north on Union Hill toward McFarland again, guys.
31, I'm coming in. Intercept right there at Union Hill.
Left on Tidwell, left on Tidwell.
Clear left Tidwell.
When asked why he ran, Islam said he saw the cops and freaked out. All he had to do was turn off his high beams. Now he'll have to deal with damaged street cred, an impounded sports car, and possible jail time. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.